Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. But it was chapter 39 of the Quran, Surah Az-Zumar, the crowds, verse number 27. We have put forth for mankind in this Quran every kind of parable in order that they may receive admonition. The Quran is for all of mankind. It is for all of humanity. So please don't delay. Get a copy of the Quran today. The Quran gives some glimpses into some historical examples of generations of the past. When the truth came to them, they rejected the messengers and the prophets. And history has shown that when you remove God from the equation of your life, then that person or that nation or that town or that city is facing moral bankruptcy and spiritual death. And that is the beginning of the end for them. And we're seeing it even today. There are so many wonderful first world nations, many Western nations, who have been so involved in the materialist philosophy that the only thing that matters is matter, atoms and molecules. Nothing else matters for them. They don't believe in the spiritual dimension. They don't believe in God. They are basically worshippers of Satan or the occult or the devil or Iblis or Lucifer. And through their power and their influence through the media and the entertainment industry and the control that they have over politicians and the academic institutions and universities, they are pushing their woke agenda, such as there is no God, because they want to push the Darwinian concept of evolution, that human beings have come from apes, and sadly, many people are believing that lie or that falsehood. Secondly, they are pushing their woke agenda of LGBTQ, whereas the Quran makes it very, very clear God did not create Adam and Steve, He did not create two men, He created a man and a woman. And further, they're pushing the woke agenda that no, there's no such thing as a male and a female. We can identify how we want to. So they are defying God because God is saying there's a male with specific reproductive organs with an XY chromosome. And there's a female with specific reproductive organs and with an XX chromosome. Yet these people with their woke agenda are pushing the lie that no, you can identify who or what you want to. In this way, they are challenging the Creator Supreme. They are basically insulting God and they are committing a great act of blasphemy. Another way in which they are promoting their woke agenda is through social Darwinism, that there's survival of the fittest. That no matter what that nation is, that the stronger nations can overpower the weaker nations. This is based on eugenics and is based on racist and discriminatory philosophies or agendas. And there are others who actually worship evil and they're promoting evil, like Niccolo Machiavelli from Italy and his famous book, The Prince, which is basically a book of Satan, which is telling politicians how to be tyrants and dictators and by promoting evil and by justifying evil. And in this way, they are confusing humanity to try and move human beings away from the Supreme Creator. And that is why God, most merciful throughout history, has not abandoned human beings. Because the devil or Satan or Shaitan or Iblis or Lucifer is the biggest enemy of mankind and he wants to deceive human beings. He deceives and confuses them in several ways. Firstly, we know that God is one. There is only one God. The devil also knows that there is only one God. But he confuses people to say, no, God is three in one or one in three. But the Quran makes it very clear, Mary is not the mother of God and Jesus is not the son of God. In very simple terms, if anyone has come out of a womb of a mother, that person is not God. Mary came out of a womb, so she is not God, nor is she the mother of God. Jesus came out of a womb, so Jesus is not God, nor is he the Son of God. But people are pushing their woke agendas to confuse humanity. The original Bible was 100% correct because God does not make mistakes. The Quran is the gold standard of all divine scriptures, and it has come to correct the mistakes of the Bible and earlier scriptures. God did not make mistakes. As Muslims, we believe in the Bible. The original, authentic Bible is 100% correct. But the woke people, the elite of the elite, those sitting at the top of the food chain, the wealthy, arrogant people want world domination and control. The only way that they can control people is by controlling your brain. And they did not like certain things in the Bible, so they started changing the Bible. The Bible has been changed over 400 years. It is a historical fact that Jesus did not write the Bible. The disciples did not write the Bible. The Bible was only written down 100 years later, and it was kept undergoing changes for another 400 years, and most famously at the Council of Nicaea in Turkey. At that stage, there were 200 books of the Bible, but a group of people, human beings, not God, human beings decided, okay, which books are we going to include in the Bible and which books are we going to throw out. So they threw out most of the books and only kept about 63 or 67 books, which is today the Bible. So the question is, why did they throw other books of knowledge away? Why did they throw away the Gospel of Barnabas and the Gospel of Mary Magdalene? For the simple reason they've got their own woke agenda of world domination and world control, and the way that they want to control the world is by controlling your brain. So they have brought wrong ideas such as God is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. But there are many Christians who don't agree with this concept, and that is why they are embracing Islam. So if you want to know the truth about what the Supreme Creator has sent down, please get a copy of the Quran today and don't delay. In contrast to the Bible, which was written 100 years after Jesus and only kept undergoing modifications for another 400 years. In contrast to that, the Quran was written down immediately within a few minutes, not 100 years later, within a few minutes. The Prophet Mohamed Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam himself could not read or write. So when the revelation came to him, he immediately recited it to his scribes who sat around him. They wrote it down, they recited it back to him until he was satisfied that this is exactly what Gabriel or Jibreel alayhi salam brought to him as a revelation. And then it was allocated to the various chapters of the Quran. For example, the very first revelation is not at the beginning of the book. The very first revelation goes into chapter 96. How did a human being, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if he wrote the Quran, why would he start the Quran with chapter 96? That's not how authors write a book. Normally you start with page 1, you start with an introduction, and you continue with the preface and so on. This shows that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, did not write the Quran, and there's so many scientific evidence in the Quran that it is impossible for a Bedouin living in the desert, Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam, 1400 years ago, to have produced things that could only be seen under a microscope or through a telescope. So if you want to know what the Supreme Creator of the heavens and the earth, what message he has got for you, then please get a copy of the Quran today. In addition, another piece of evidence which proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, did not write the Quran is because chapter 19 is titled Mary, the mother of Jesus. Why would Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, name a title or name a chapter under the name, for example, if you have business competitors, why would he give the name of the competition of his competitor's mother? Obviously, for messengers, they are not competitors with each other. They are brotherhoods. They are providing the same message. But just for us to get an understanding that, isn't it quite strange? Why did the chapter 19, why is it called Mary, the mother of Jesus? If Muhammad wrote the Quran, surely he would have written Amina, the name of his mother. Why must he name it some other woman's name? This shows that he did not write the Quran, but the Quran is the Kalamullah, it is the word of the Supreme Creator of the heavens and the earth. So please don't delay if you want to know the purpose of life, the meaning of life, your mission in life, what you are supposed to do while you're on the planet Earth, why you have been created, what happens at death, why there is suffering, why there is evil, why there is betrayal, why are there tests, trials, and tribulation, why doesn't God interfere during warfare or during struggles and so on. The answer to all of these questions are found in the Quran. So don't delay, please get a copy of the Quran today. This is the gold standard against which all other divine scriptures are measured. On the first day of varsity, if you go to medical school or any varsity you go to, on the first day the professor walks in and he tells the students, please don't buy the earlier editions, they are all outdated. Yes, they are cheaper and we know that students are struggling for money. But remember that your exams are based on the latest edition of the book, whether it is in anatomy or physiology or endocrinology or immunology or orthopedics or gynecology. Please get the latest editions of the book, because your final exams are based on the latest edition, because the older textbooks are outdated. Similarly, the older divine scriptures are outdated. Your exam in life is based on the Quran. You will be asked questions based on the Quran. This is your textbook that you need to know. So don't come on the day of judgment and say, oh, I wish I had studied the book or I wish I had read the book. Then it is too late. Nobody can have an excuse on the day of judgment that they never heard about Islam, or they never heard about the Prophet Mohamed Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sal'lam, or they never heard about the Quran, or they never heard about anything or guidance. There is no compulsion in religion. Islam simply shares the truth. It is an invitation. In the same way, for example, you are invited by the president to a presidential dinner, or the king of a country invites you to a royal banquet. It is up to you. Now, let us say the president of a country invites you to a royal banquet. What's the first thing you will do? Let us say you get an invitation in gold foil. Immediately, if I was in that position, if a king invites me to come eat and have dinner, immediately what you'll do, I'll take a photo of it, I'll send it to all my friends and relatives and say, hey, look at this. I'm invited to the king's royal ball. I will go out, buy a nice suit and tie, and get my best outfits, and then get so excited going to visit the king's palace and sit there for a meal. This is Islam. Islam is simply an invitation to a royal banquet. You are simply invited to taste the meal. There is no compulsion. If you decide that the king has sent you an invitation, and if you don't want to go for the invitation, that's up to you. The king is not going to become poorer because you don't come for the invitation. Who's going to lose out? The king is not going to lose out. You are going to lose out because you did not go to sample the food at the royal kingdom, at the palace. Similarly, Islam is an invitation from the king of the kings of the universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is giving you an invitation. The Quran is a VIP, gold-plated invitation for you as a human being to open it and get a taste of the truth. If you open it and taste it, you have benefited your own soul. If you decide and you fall victim to the media lies and misinformation, and you say, no, I'd rather not read the Quran, it is to your own detriment because you are harming your own soul. If you don't accept the royal VIP invitation, God does not lose out. God does not need you. We need God. And it's an absolute guarantee that every single human being will return to the Supreme Creator of the heavens and the earth. It is a Quran in Arabic without any crookedness therein. In order that they may guard against evil. So please don't delay. Get your copy of the Quran today. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.